What is up, YouTube? Uncle40 here. We're going to be looking at the most pathetically designed dragons in the course of a hot fucking minute. These things are actually just atrocious. And I'm actually shocked that Konami actually even pushed for a globalized release of these just for how bad these are. But I mean, okay, so first off, as terms of gimmicks and things like that, they're fine. But competitive play, these things are bad. I get why they pushed for these, just as remakes and alternative classics and things like that, giving life back to these previous monsters. But for the most part, when I made my fun video talking about these things, I didn't actually think that they would be this bad. I knew that like the Dark Arm one would probably be an overlay and the Trishula be a contact, but when we saw the original Chaos Emperor Dragon one, I honestly had thought that we would be, you know, making them better than they actually were. Well, contrary to popular belief, Konami has fooled me, and we are here at the pinnacle of these really weird creatures. So let's start talking about these, shall we? Alright, the first one is the new Dark-Armed Annihilator Dragon. It is a rank 7, 2800, 1000. Pretty standard. It's 2 plus level 7 monsters to make it. So at least Konami was courteous enough to allow us to slap as many shotgun materials under this guy as we want. So that's fine. And it also gave us an alternate summoning condition. You can exceed summon this card by using 1 level 5 or higher dark dragon monster you control as material if you have exactly 5 darks in your graveyard. When the fuck am I ever going to get 5 dark monsters in the graveyard, Konami? The reason why we're not playing current Dark Armed Dragon is because 3 is too hard to achieve. And you really think that we're going to go above and beyond that? I don't see it. The only other redeeming quality about this card is you can use its effect once per turn. It's just detach material from this card, target 1 card in your opponent's graveyard, destroy it, banish 1 card from your graveyard. And then this thing can't attack. I don't even know why they slapped the attack restriction clause on this thing. I don't see what the big deal was with allowing him to attack in the turn that he used his effect, but looking lo and behold, it was just too damn powerful of an effect, and we had to limit it in some degree. I don't know. I think that most of these dragons suck. There are so many restrictions being placed on these. And sure, they're cool and they're gimmicky, like, for promos, but, like, Konami, you went above and beyond to make sure that these things were is justly unplayable. The correct wording, I'm not exactly sure. But, oh my god. The next one's even worse than that one. This gift down here summarizes it. It's a pile of crap. So, Judgment, the Seraphic Dragon. It is 1 tuner plus 1 non-tuner until you read the next line. If you synchro summon this card, all the materials must be the same attribute. Boy, why did they go so far to do this? Okay, so also, its effect. Once per turn, if this card was synchro summoned, and you have 4 or more tuners with different names in your graveyard, you can pay half of your life points. Destroy all other cards on the field, and you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except for dragon monsters. So, Konami literally said, alright guys, what Lightsworns were tuners again? Minerva? Phoebus? Jean? No, Jean wasn't one. I can only name 2 tuners in the whole Lightsworn archetype. And seeing these restrictions, but why though? Paying half your life points is fine. I could have accepted that, but I guess you had to have something of 4. You could have done 1 of every different attribute or something like that. You know, fuck monster normal. Something like that would have been better than tuner. And then once per turn during the end phase, you can banish the top 4 cards of your deck. Really? Like, why did you have to include that clause as well? This would have been great in 60 card decks had it been be able to mill 4 during the end phase. Players would have loved the shit out of this. But this is some indirect Twilight Sworn support, and we've already seen how Twilight Sworns are going. in the current day and age. I'm already not a big fan of them, so let's further shove them down my throat, I guess. Doesn't mean I like them any more than I should, but this is worse than the Dark Arm Dragon. I didn't think they could make it worse. So this card's terrible too, but this thing actually has some sort of redeeming quality about it. And it's all within the summoning conditions of this. So first off, this is a level 9, 27, 2000. In order to summon it, must be three monsters with different names. Should have made this Link monster, but that's fine. Must be fusion summoned by using cards you control or have in your hand, or special summoned by banishing the above cards you control. In which case, you do not use polymerization. Okay, so this is a generic contact fusion 2700. It's interesting. And so here's the thing. I'm not a super big fan of this thing out of the floodgate, but generic dragon fusions, generic fusions in general, seem to have some sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Some sort of generic brokenness about them. And somewhere along the way, somebody might be able to make up something broken with this. I could very well see something interesting spawning out of this because of that wording. And if this card is special summoned by using above monster's original type or dragon, you have to activate the following effects in sequence, which is banish one card from your deck, from your opponent's deck, and from your opponent's extra deck. I don't know why they made this effect so garbage, I think is the best word to say it. I do like the fact that it can be contact fused. That's fine. But outside of that, I mean, these all force some sort of dragon commitment. And last time I checked, Chaos Dragons weren't very good. And whatever the hell variant of other dragon decks that had existed, I don't particularly think that they are seeing competitive play in this day and age, right, guys? Am I missing something? No, I don't think so. So there's that. This thing isn't terrible. I have hope for this guy, as opposed to his brethren, that's for sure. We've already talked about the Chaos and Brew Dragon one. You guys already know about this. Paying 1,000, targeting a banished, recurring it. You can special summon this by banishing a light and dark from your graveyard. And then, on top of things, pay half your life points, nuke everything, except for the extra monster zones, basically. This card's pretty good. 3,000. This is, ironically, this is the only playable one. Then, last but not least, I didn't actually think, and when I say I didn't actually think, I didn't think that we would reach the point to where the Red Eyes Link would be bad either. This is Darkness Metal, the Black Steel Dragon, and it was originally translated as Darkness Metal, the Darkest Dragon, and I laughed. It's pretty bad. So it's 2 plus effect monsters with the same type and attribute. So right off the bat, your summoning conditions are pretty hard. It's also a Link 4. You'd think for a Link 4 that this would be good, but it's not. So this thing says you can target one of your banished monsters or one of your monsters in your graveyard. You cannot special summon for the rest of this turn that you would apply this effect, except for Link monsters. And then you can special summon the monster to your zone this card points to, which would be underneath it. But that monster's effects are negated, and if it leaves the field, return to the bottom of the deck. My first question to you is, why the fuck did we have to put the stipulation of negating the effect of the monster? You've already created a Link 4 that lets me revive. At least let me have my effect. You know what I mean? Like, I'm already committing so much to this thing. Saruja is broken, but this isn't. This is another one of those flopperoonies. I know I'm being very hard on these cards, to be honest with you, but already putting a stipulation on it in such a hard summoning condition, I don't know, reviving a beat stick is something, because the monster can still attack. There's no restriction on that. Link 5s don't currently exist in the point of making this video, so I don't see anything crazy like that, but for the most part, this is hot garbaggio. All of these cards are just incredibly bad tonight. I don't know what was going on here in terms of these designs, but I was hoping for a little something more, you know what I mean? Like, it could have, woulda, shoulda, and it should have been something much better. But what do you guys think about these new cards? I don't know if you guys are excited as I am, or, oh man, I'm so excited for these. I can't wait for these to be Shonen Jump promos. Yay. At least we know we'll be disappointed for the next year in terms of promos, but that's just me. But what do you guys think about these? Please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think about all these fantastic new wonderful cards, and I'm out, guys. Peace.